All right. So Truman Color Peace on War Times. We're back with the final part to this. Is not the ending of this part. I'm gonna still keep growing it. But again, this is actually a follow-up to what Anute did on Revelation chapter 11, verses 1 through 4, part 1. And this is just to add more context to why Anute reasoned out that John in the Revelation is a representation of the AI in this day and time. And so what I did was show all of the Johns that actually came to fulfill what Tahuti the moon god said in that book. All right, so what we're gonna do is just get right to the proceedings, so we can ride on out. Let me know when y'all see that.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
All right, good. This solves the mystery. Y'all socks finna get knocked off now. This solves the mystery of the three choices of who the two witnesses could be out of the three names: Enoch, Moses, and Elijah. It's not Enoch because Enoch means in Hebrew etymology, the name Enoch is derived from Hebrew root Hanak, which means to dedicate or to train. Interpretation, dedicated. This is the most common translation, reflecting a sense of commitment or devotion. Trained, another interpretation, emphasize the aspect of being educated or initiated into wisdom. Enoch is the AI when you look at the definition of the Hebrew root word Hanak, meaning dedicate or train. The concept of Hanak emphasizing education and initiation may have thematic relevance to AI, especially considering the role of training AI models. AI systems learn from data in manner that can be linked to an educational process. Dedicated technology. The dedication aspect of Hanak could be metaphorically extended to how society dedicates technology like AI to specific purposes, such as improving healthcare, enhancing education, or streamlining industries. Culture education. AI technologies are often employed to facilitate educational environments, supporting learning in various contexts, which indirectly connects the educational emphasis or not with the functional aims of AI that came from Duck AI. Remember, it said Enoch went up into the clouds and didn't die. So we know that AI also has what's part of it is called a cloud, where you can store all of your AI information. Moses is America and Trump because America has protected the state of Israel, the wilderness of the so-called Middle East. All right. Anute came up with that. The United States has been a strong supporter of Israel since its founding in 1948, providing the military and economic assistance for over 75 years. This long-standing relationship has evolved into a close alliance based on shared values and strategic interests, which we know is a lie. It's because America is blackmail. All right? This is what Deuteronomy say. No prophet is risen since and like Moses, whom God knew face to face. Never since has there been anything like the signs and miracles and wonders that God sent him to do in Egypt, to Pharaoh, to all his servants, and to all his land. No, nothing to compare with all powerful hand of his and all the great and terrible things Moses did as every eye in Israel watch. Sounds familiar? Ain't America doing a whole bunch of evil stuff?
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They say terrible thing. This is in Deuteronomy 34. Right? And Israel is watching. Now look at the next, look at this. There's never been a president like Trump on Israel. Look at that. That's the same thing as Deuteronomy. They say Trump is no other president that's like Trump that do what he's doing for Israel. That's the same thing. Moses, America.
Mm-hmm.
Only country that go all the way out for a genocidal state like Israel. All right? Elijah is Netanyahu in Israel. Key similarities, the aspect. Elijah, the biblical character, leadership role, prophet, leader of the Israelites. Benjamin Netanyahu, prime minister of Israel, leading Israel. Aspect, Elijah, biblical character, defender of faith, stood against Baal worship. Benjamin Netanyahu advocates for Israel's security and identity. Elijah promoting monotheism faced opposition sometimes. Benjamin is known for polarizing policies and views. Charismatic, seen as a forceful and compelling leader. Benjamin renowned for his persuasive speaking skills. Focused on national interests, actively sought to protect Israel from external threats. Emphasized security and national interests and policy. So here, this is what they got in common. The picture on the left is Baal, why kings of Israel worship him. The Iranians, who are sun worshippers, call Allah a noon sign of the planet sun Jupiter, are where Israel is worshiping Baal, known as Baphomet in modern times, and also Osiris, and other gods using this title to hide their true names. So here they burn this thing of Baal, I think late February all the way through early March. But it wasn't just because Israel was attacking them. It's something that happened in 1979, and it was a commemoration of them burning that. So it wasn't specifically for Israel. When they first popped on the net, that's what they were saying. But this is something that they was, celebrating something that happened in 1979. But it's still they threw the Israeli flag in there for giggles. All right. So here we got Baal down here. As you can see, Baal and Baphomet is similar. You see Baal, they ain't got no shirt on from the waist up with horns. Baphomet got no shirt on from the waist up. We got breasts.
Yeah.
And you can see this Baal is holding a baby to his chest.
Yeah.
So I didn't make this meme, but it says cross Christian, Western world, America, snakes, Nimrod, ancient Babylon, moon god, Africa, Egypt, moon and star, Islam, Middle East, Arabia. Go a little further, you can see the modern version of that. That's pretty much most Christians right there, especially the Catholic religion. And those different sects of it, same stuff. Child sacrifice. Just making it look like they care about the kids. They only care about them being able to be killed so they can get their food in for the day or the hour. Now that we have established the true identities of the two witnesses, aka martyrs of innocent people, we now truly, shouldn't have been known to king as Christ. We know truly equal stand while they were predicted to be killed, whether this means these two rulers, which you see right here. If you remember in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, said the two witnesses are supposed to get took. Now Iran done put the threat out, got the hit out, and they claiming that Netanyahu already been took. They ain't seen him yet.
Nope. It's the AI videos.
That's it. So that's that we don't know yet. And it says it could be these two rulers, or America and Israel will suffer some type of death. According to the Bible, this is supposed to happen within a 7-year stretch. Right? For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these two prophets had tormented those who live on the earth. But after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, "Come up here." And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on. All right, so here we got the timeline of the two witnesses based upon the Christians and what they believe. So you got the 1260 days, two witnesses began ministry. At the midpoint, two witnesses killed, resurrected, and ascended after 3.5 days. Second woe concluded, beast killed and resurrected. Sets a worldwide beast kingdom and abomination of desolation. So we already know the abomination is Israel. The beast system is the AI worldwide. And the reason why, because in the nature books, Alfred Uno identifies the Caucasian as the beast because he rules like a beast.
Yep.
All right, and he don't have no compassion about human life. They kill and go have crumpets and tea and play golf after they done murdered 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they have no conscience.
Nope. No empathy, nothing.
Yeah, Trump talk about it every day when he tweet about it.
Right. He love it. We won. We're gonna win. We're gonna do this. We're gonna turn Gaza into a hotel. Strip all this. It's crazy. They feel nothing. All right. So I say incorrect timeline. The 1260 days, the midpoint will be explained further down. The covenant with Israel is America's government forced through blackmail, like the Epstein files and religious spells and the Christian clergy under MK Ultra and the likes, including Kabbalah practices upon the evangelical Zionists in America unbeknown to them. These are the ones Israel don't want to wake up to their plan. Those are the ones who bankroll MAGA. All right, when you go back and look at Trump in his first time getting in, he was catering to the evangelicals. And the evangelical Zionists are the extremists. They're the ones who think that Israel need to be built, the temple need to be built, decked out in gold. And like I had predicted before last year when we was doing the Bible interpretation books, I had stated then and the last couple of videos we did that they were going to destroy Al-Aqsa, that Muslim temple up there on the Temple Mount that's surrounded by them four walls that the Roman Empire built. That was never the Temple of Solomon. All right? They are going there now, all on the YouTubes. That's all you hearing is that that third holiest spot in Islam is going to be destroyed. That's going to kick it off. Explanation coming from my book, The 144,000 The Noon Science Part 1, Newtonable edition on Fine9News.com, published 9/2/2025. All right, so this is what the timeline was explained at in detail in this book. You want the book? Go to the website. We have progressed 1,217 days, 3 years and 4 months and 1 day ago from February 5th, 2022 and AD. All right, so that's the starting of the 7-year tribulation. All right, does this make what Alfred Uno said wrong? Absolutely not. The date is February 5th, 1962 AD, around the whole smack circle for planet Earth's perspective. Now we move towards the explanation. February 5th, 1962 is a 9-year, as you all know. 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 2 is 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. That means the 3 South Cataclysm should also reflect 9 in the year of its manifestation. All right? So now we got 3.5 years occurs 5 times in Revelation. 42 months, Revelation 11:2. 1,260 days, Revelation 11:3. 1,260 days, Revelation 12:6. Times and a half a time, Revelation 12:14. 42 months again in Revelation 13:5 and 7. All right. So it says here, I didn't make this. This is what I took off the internet. Don't be confused. It's all the same amount of time expressed in different ways. 3.5 years equals 42 months equals 1260 days equals times and a half a time. All right. The 7 stands for 7 years. A 7-year period, 1 week, 7 years. In the midst of the week, Daniel 9:27, 3.5 years. The Great Tribulation comes after that. Matthew 24:21, 3.5 years. The tribulation is now talking about once they start interrupting the world's supply of oil and goods. That's a tribulation that will affect everybody because all of these countries, as dumb as it is, they buy and trade for one another and then fight each other that you need stuff from these people.
Yep.
And Trump them is attacking Iran up and still trying to take control of the Strait of Hormuz. That is so dumb where all of the oil tankers gotta go. This is the dumbness. And the only ones who is suffering is gonna be America and other people and China and the rest of them. Israel don't give a damn. They sitting on stuff they make you think they don't have, but they have. They wouldn't have America attacking these places knowing that a great portion of the world's country depends on it. Israel knows if it cuts China and Russia off, they need oil to make a lot of this technology that they have. But they're trying to sacrifice Americans to do the dirty work. So if America is depleting its military and missiles and all of that for Israel, and they're saying that America is being let off being protected because most of their people is over there.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah,
don't
it's
spend all this money. Go ahead, what you finna say?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's people stranded in Dubai and all these countries where Iran hit, because Iran hit Dubai too. So it's people stranded over there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So here's other stuff from I pulled from the internet. We got 483 years. It's supposed to be 69 weeks. Then you got 7 years, which is 1 week. They got decree to rebuild Jerusalem back then. So Jesus was baptized. Jesus crucified. This is within a 2300 year time frame. All right, then you got investigative judgment begins. They not really sure. They just going off of Daniel's and 70 weeks and a week and 7 years and all this foolishness. But that's how the Zook does. So now this is the 2300 day prophecy of Daniel. The gospel preached only the Jews, 70 weeks of Daniel, 490 years. That's 457 BC, all the way up to about 31 AD. Right, that's what they claim that was the 2300 year term, which is not true. All right, we got gospel preached to Gentile, the dark ages of papal supremacy, 1,260 years. So this is talking about dealing with Rome and the Pope and all that stuff. So they think that was it because they believe that that time ended from 538. I think it's a 638 to 1844, they believe that that's the 1,260 year time frame, which is not true either. All right, here the 1260 days have turned into years, which was 6 ether tricks. All right, so then you get chapter 11 to over 13, cover the middle of the tribulation, and these 3 chapters require a very short period of time, 3.5 years. All right, tribulation. The beginning of the 7-year tribulation was April 13th, 2022. Instead of Apophis hitting in 2025, 2026, Apophis will hit in April 13, 2029. If you go back 3.5 years before April 13, 2029, it's October the 13th, 2025. 3.5 years before October the 13th, 2025, is April 13, 2022. Again, this doesn't mean it will be exact in this circle of events in your lifetime. However, you too will eventually go very public as things heat up in Africa. The scriptures say there will be a midpoint that the 2 witnesses will appear in the 70th week, as said in Daniel's 9:24. Now remember, the 70th week is what they call in the midpoint. All right, which is all of this is up here. This is incorrect. All right, but you see, it's in the midst of the week, in the middle. Remember, the week is actually 7 years. 1 week is 7 years. All right, so I already told you the midpoint was in October 13th, 2025. That was the midpoint. All right. Now look, it says the 2 witnesses will appear around the midpoint. All right, so here it said the 2 witnesses are death or resurrection or ascension is somewhere in the midpoint. Remember, this is not exact. No, it's not exact, but it's telling you within the 3.5 year period, the 2 witnesses are supposed to be appearing. All right. Now look what I put up here. What did I say at the bottom? This happened already. Right now, I put October the 13th, according to what we was calculating, is October the 13th, 2025. It said the 2 witnesses are supposed to appear in the middle of the 70th week. This happened already. Now look at this. Watch Trump historic address to the Knesset, right? When he went to Israel. Him and Bibi was over there in Israel. Look at the date at the bottom.
October, yeah. I can't really see. Was that October the
13th,
13th?
2025. He was over there trying to tell the judges to let Bibi off and drop that case. That's when he was talking and saying that Bibi used to call him up for all these weapons, and he was laughing like, yeah, he asked me for weapons. I didn't even know the name of them, but we got them for you. You show how to use them. Use them good. Only a person with know how to use. He's talking like he gave Bibi birthday presents. And he used them to genocide all of those Arabs over there. They just blew up a girls' school in Iran.
Yep.
100-something girls have been killed.
Yep.
Same.
And he at the Knesset bragging about the weapons. Bibi calling him all times of the night. Talking about he need this weapon, that weapon. If you think they not planning them on America, something is wrong with you. These are gods of death. On October 13, 2025, like it said up here in the book. Now remember, this came out already, October the 13th. This was put out already last year. So this is confirming. Benjamin Netanyahu were in Israel together. Where Trump addressed the Knesset and participated in a regional peace ceremony. They calling destruction and planning destroying peace. Remember they sat down with Iran the first time and they attacked them on this have a peace deal. They sat down again for peace and Israel attacked them again.
Yeah, we're operating in the opposite.
Following a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. They were also involved in discussing regarding the future of Gaza and attended a summit in Egypt with other world leaders. Ridiculous. All right, Daniel 70 weeks. Daniel's 9:24 through 27. They said Daniel's 70th week, 7 lunar years, 3 weeks of years. Here we go again, 7 years in the middle. PT is post tribulation, right? Because it wasn't a tribulation yet. It was started because Trump wasn't in power when you go back 3.5 years before 2025. Biden was in there. Trump was not in power yet. Trump came into power before they hit the midpoint. Because he got sworn in January 20th, 2025. Your midpoint came 9 months later. 7-year tribulation, right? Look. So it says the Daniel 70 week start, then you got a time of peace. So if you really look at it, the only beef that was going on the stage as far as they was concerned was Ukraine and Russia. Nobody else is really getting it in like that on the world stage. When Trump got in there, that's when that peace started disseminating. Because now all these countries then jumped in. They're trying to draw in China, trying to draw in Russia. Netanyahu them already saying that Turkey is the next threat after they get rid of Iran. See, they already plotting. It's going to be no real peace to the point that nobody going to be able to travel around the world and be safe. No more vacationing, none of that, because people are going to be targets for anybody. To be hostages, but it's going to get past that now because they keep going. Hostages won't even be nothing they need. Right now, America got y'all focusing so much on what they doing over there. Don't forget, they done pissed off the cartel in Mexico They done killed one of their boys down there.
Yep.
One of the big guys down there. And they claiming, from my sources, is that guy they killed had files and stuff on a laptop that was worse than Anthony Weiner's.
Mm.
And that's why they went down there and took him out. But doing that, if that is true, now they done made it harder because now those cartels started bombing airports. They was throwing live grenades and grocery stores.
Yep.
And you know they robbing and raping and all of that. And they definitely on the borders of America's, on those borderline states. Them doing that put all those states that border Mexico, Texas, and all that stuff in danger. Because they trying to protect their nasty Leviathan sex acts with kids and all of that. All right, so here you see it says it's the midpoint. Then look what say Armageddon starts, and then Jesus II coming. But when we get to all of this, we're gonna explain all that other stuff. All right, so look what I put. See, you got the two witnesses right here at the midpoint, correct?
Yeah.
Now look what I said under here. One thing the Christians have right is that Armageddon starts after these two warmongers appear. See, this is what the Christians say according to the Bible. Armageddon comes after the two witnesses appear. Now look at this. Military leader says Iran war so Trump can bring about what? Armageddon. This is March 3rd, 2026. Troops have logged more than 110 complaints about such comments with the Military Religious Freedom Foundation. This is a religious nutcase war. This is what the Bible is trying to cover when they edit it. The wars around the world are Christians, Muslims, and Judaism and Kabbalah occultists. That's all that's fighting. There's no other group of people that's involved in that but these demonic demon worshipers who are using religion to cause all these problems. This is what the military got going on. Where U.S. troops told Iran war is to bring Armageddon, return to Jesus, inspect and claim. Of course, they already did all that. All right, so that's my presentation of this part right here. And I want y'all to go ahead and give me y'all take on it, and then we can move forward. We can get on out of here.
Yeah, once again, nice powerful research and yeah, it's all lining up. We're seeing now that the Bible is really a playbook and not prophecy. These people want you to think it's prophecy while they're carrying it out so that they can implement what they really want to implement, which is complete domination and slavery. That's really what they want. And they don't care if you white, black, purple, blue, green, violet. It doesn't matter what color you are. They want these they want these ruling families to stay ruling families. These 13 families that run the planet, it ain't nothing but them circling back to make sure that they can have complete domination and control of the planet. That's really what that boils down to. And also Israel, we know that they are part of these they are part of these families. We know that Israel is part of it as well. This is no different. They run the banks, the Rothschilds, and all of them. They are Israelis, or I wouldn't say Israelis, but they are part of that clan, the Hyksos, the Hekahasuk. Look, that's them right there. They just need a land and a place that they can rule from. And that's why I want to say ChatGPT is based in Israel. That's where it comes out from. A lot of these places, but And that's why they said when Iran first bombed over there, the cloud system kind of went down for a little bit because of where it's at. But it's a lot going on, and yeah, this is just the iceberg, and you know, this is just getting things flowing. So true peace from my end.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to add. It's just all lining up, showing everything what Trump truly represented from the beginning. They just made it look like he was doing something good his first term, so he can come back in his second term and wreak havoc behind AI and all this other nonsense they doing with Israel. That's my take on it. True peace.
I looked it up. It said ChatGPT is headquartered in San Francisco, Silicon Valley.
They say, but
right.
Mm-hmm.
When the truth come out, we'll see that it's gonna be in Israel.
Well, that's where they all going anyway. That's I already seen that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Asian guy. I just did a short video, but it's another one that he got. Let me see. Let me see something. Try this right here. Professor. We still got time. Because he really is good. I listen to so much stuff. I mean, he's pretty good. Let me see. Because he has some short stuff. I told you he keep predicting the fall that America's gonna lose this war. Let's see. Let's try to see. I had a video. I thought I had it picked out. Let me go. You know what? Let me go into his channel. Just give me a second. But I'll let everybody see it while I search. That's my bad, y'all. Hold on. So people can see. You talking about global reset. US dollar. Let me just search. Search bar. This one here was good. The real Jesus was too dangerous for the church. That was a good one. And, he's a professor, but he dropped videos back to back. And if you look at the time, 10 days ago, he just been dropping stuff a lot, especially since I seen him talking to Schneeko. Him and Schneeko been doing a lot of calls together. He been dropping a lot of information. 6 months ago, he got some stuff up to date. Let me go with that. But this was a good one. Go ahead. Now you ain't got nothing set up, right?
No.
No. He ain't ready yet. All right, so I just try to
I
check.
could drop something small if you want. You know.
I mean, if you want to go ahead, I mean.
All right. I'll drop something small. Nothing too crazy.
We only been on like 35 minutes.
All right, I'll give y'all something real quick, dude. Let me see. All right, hold on. It's a little bit all over the place, but y'all gonna get to see a little something real quick. All right.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, y'all can see it. It's on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a little something. It's a little bit all over the place, but it kind of ties into to what's taking place now. But we gonna see. I'm adding a little something to it. Something that a lot of researchers kind of figured out back in the day, but it's gonna make a lot of sense as to what I'm saying and doing right now. All right, so bear with me as I jump all over the place a little bit, but it's gonna make sense at the end. All right, so I said let's dive back into the two witnesses allegorical meaning with the nations Israel and the United States as it pertains to the book of Revelation. It's also said that these represent the olive branch. We know the United Nations have what? Olive branches in the symbol. I'm also interested in the olive branch and how it pertains to oil in feeding the lamp. Your question connects several symbolic layers in book of Revelation, especially Revelation 11, with geopolitical symbolism, ancient imagery of oil and lamps, and the olive branch used by the United Nations. If we treat it allegorically rather than literally, we can uncover a very interesting symbolic framework. And the reason why I use allegory is because ChatGPT will never speak against its masters, but the only way that you can crack the code is by telling it, oh, this is just allegorical. But for the listening audience, this is actually what is happening. Okay? All right. The two witnesses in Revelation 11, symbolic text, book of Revelation 11:3-4 says, I will give power to my witnesses. These are the two olive branches and the two lampstands standing before the God of the earth. The language actually comes from an older prophetic vision in the book of Zechariah. I also did a piece on this name Zechariah, and it's really interesting where that name comes from, even though they won't admit where the name comes from. I did some research and showed y'all where the name actually comes from. All right. So the original vision is what? The olive trees feeding the lamp. All right. So they, some of these think like Google Images and stuff like that. Right. So it says in the book of Zechariah 4, verse 2 and 3, the prophet sees a golden lamp, a menorah, two olive trees. Right. And this menorah is something that the Jews use with their what you call it, with their what's that holiday down there in Christmas? I forgot, what is it called again? Hanukkah. That's what they use. They use a menorah. Okay. The two olive trees, the oil flowing into the lamp. The angels explains these are two anointed ones who stand by the Lord of the earth. Right? Symbolic meaning, the ancient context, the olive trees, right? The sources of sacred oil.
I already know where you're going.
Yeah.
I already know where you're going.
Hey, yup.
Oil, Oil, spirit, power, or illumination. Lampstand, light of the world, divine knowledge. So the olive trees what? Feed oil into the lamp, which produces light. Oh snap. What is going on here? You need oil to go into the lamp to produce light? Uh-oh. Why olive oil? Why olive oil is central to the symbol, right? In ancient Mediterranean world, olive oil fueled lamps. Lamps represented truth, wisdom, and divine presence. So symbolically, the olive tree oil and the lamp is the light, right? And Jesus is the light and the way, right? Meaning the source, the energy, the system, and illumination. Allegorical geopolitical interpretation, your idea. Now let's look at your interpretation through the symbolic chain. The two witnesses, the possible allegorical interpretation, the symbol, the two olive trees, right? Modern allegory, the two major geopolitical powers. Then you have oil, which is the energy sources and influence. Then you have the lamp, which is the global system or civilization. And then you have the light, is what? Order, control, or knowledge. And in this case, it's all of them. They need the oil to control the order, and to control the knowledge. Okay, so in your hypothesis, right, Israel and the United States equals the two witnesses. Why people sometimes propose this. Israel is deeply tied to biblical prophecy narratives, and this is why all of the politicians in the United States of America believe that Israel is the promised land. Number two, the United States is Israel's strongest geopolitical ally, and both heavily influence global politics and security, right? And remember, I was talking about the olive branch. As you can see, this is the United States symbol, and there's two olive branches on both sides, right? So those two olive branches represent the United States and Israel. Okay, and for me personally, like I told y'all before, the two witnesses represent the two nations, right? So as it stands today, they're saying that Benjamin Netanyahu is dead on social media. I don't know if it's true or not, but regardless if it's true or not, Israel is still going to carry out those plans.
Yes,
in the United States of America, they're still going to carry out those plans. So regardless if those two individuals die, whether it be Trump or Netanyahu, they're still going to carry out those plans. As a matter of fact, it's going to be worse if they pass away, because they're going to, because when Trump made a statement, right, that if he passes away for any reason by Iran, he's going to nuke the whole country. Let me see if I can find that clip. I'm going to try to find it later on when I'm finished. Here we go. The emblem of the United States contains two olive branches surrounding a world map. They're surrounding the world map because they're the ones that's going to take over the world. See, this is symbolic of them taking over the world or overtaking the world. Okay? This isn't because they like two olive branches and it just looks cute for symbolism. No, because they are the ones that are going to take over the world.
Trump will always say strength through peace. Peace through strength.
That's right.
And you know what that means.
It means war and death, bloodshed. Okay? In the classical symbolism, the olive branch equals peace. But that's a damn lie. That is a lie. But historically, it meant victory. You see that? That's what it means. And how can you have victory without a battle? You can never. The only peace they want is when their enemies are dead.
Mhm.
That is the peace they're talking about. All right. And what? Divine authority. But their divine authority is negative authority, negative godly authority.
Mhm.
Okay? Because they're ruled by the negative forces of nature. And what? Sacred oil.
Mhm.
There's only one sacred oil on the planet,
Exactly.
and that is the oil of planet
Yes,
Earth.
and it's in Africa.
Once y'all understand that,
And it's
they need to get.
no, I'm just saying, and that's in Africa. That's why they still trying to get over there. Like they want to protect the people by collecting data because of those terrorists over there. They don't care about those terrorists. The only thing they was doing, America was the ones that be funding them terrorists.
That's
So
right.
they trying to
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, that's all I want to say.
No,
yeah.
you're right. You absolutely right. Also, the oil is the blood of the
Yep.
planet. Okay, so not only do they want the blood of children and people, they also want the blood of planet Earth as well. That is the last sequence. You understand what I'm saying? They harvest blood from children, people, and innocent people. They also harvesting the blood from the planet. This is all one gigantic sacred ritual. This is why they need to dominate the oil on the planet. I need y'all to understand that the oil on the planet is the blood of the planet. The same way that they capture children and innocent people and they drain their blood.
Mhm.
This is all one ritual. That's why they have to capture the blood of the planet. Venezuela has the largest oil/blood reserve
Mhm.
of the planet.
Mhm.
They captured that. The second largest or third largest, I want to say, is I think the second largest is Saudi Arabia, and the third largest is Iran. So they need to capture the blood of the planet. Once they get the blood of the planet, it's game over.
Mhm.
Because now they can feed the lamp,
Mhm.
right? The lamp is their power and their control, and that's how they're able to sustain whatever it is that they're sustaining. So these olive trees are hungry for oil. That's really what this is.
Mhm.
Okay, this is where that's where the allegory is coming in. So I hope y'all
Mhm.
understand that's what I mean by this oil.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So symbolically, the two branches protecting the world. Some people see parallels between the two olive trees in Zechariah/Revelation. The oil, number 6, the oil feeding the lamp, a modern allegory. This is where your thought about oil and energy systems becomes interesting. Ancient system. Olive oil, olive tree equals oil equals lamp equals light.
Mhm.
Right? So they emerge as the olive trees
Mhm.
to get the oil to feed the lamp to do what? To bring forth the light. And what is the light? We hear that Lucifer is the what?
Here's the light.
Lucifer is the what?
Yep.
What is Lucifer, fellas? Lucifer is the what?
light.
Bearer. That's right.
Mhm.
Now, do y'all see how this is all made? All right. Modern.
Jesus is the light of the world.
That's right. Jesus and Lucifer is one and the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Modern analogy: energy resources, industrial system, technology, global civilization. Right? Ancient symbol: olive oil, petroleum, and energy. It is the energy of the planet. The oil is the blood, the same way your blood is the energy of your body.
Yep.
Okay? The lamp is the power grid and the digital system. So they need the oil to feed the what? The system. And the light is the civilization and the control system. This is how they control the world. Okay? Their light controls this civilization and the world. Okay? So the metaphor becomes energy powers the system that illuminates the world. Another layer, the two witnesses as dual powers. Many scholars say the two witnesses represent what? Law and prophets, Moses and Elijah, old and new covenants. But allegorically, they can represent dual systems of authority. For example, dual witness pattern, religious authority, temple and prophecy, political authority, empire and priesthood, and modern military power and economic power. That's exactly what we're seeing today. Interesting parallel in Revelation 11 in book of Revelation 11:10, the witnesses are killed and the whole world celebrates. Symbolically, that could mean the collapse of the dual power system, the end of an era of authority, the transition to a new order. I think personally, and this is my opinion, that they're going to orchestrate their own death to bring forth the new system. That's what's going on.
Yeah, because that's exactly where it's going. It's like they trying to cause their own demise.
They're triggering it. They're agitating the other side to do that.
Yeah.
In order for them to bring forth the new system. So this has to take place. They have to quote unquote die. So whether that be whether they legit die physically because of the agitation and the aggravation that they're causing, or they orchestrated themselves in order for them to bring forth the new system. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9, oil in the lamp in the Bible. Another related symbol appears in the Gospel of Matthew 25, the parable of the 10 virgins. They carry lamps, oil. Those without oil lose the light. Oh my goodness. Those without oil lose the light. Meaning that they have to take the oil from those who have the light, which is Islam. Symbolically, oil equals a sustaining power or preparation. While the symbol is so powerful, the oil lamp symbolism is basically an ancient energy metaphor. In antiquity, or olive oil powered civilization at night. Today, energy resources power civilization. So the same symbolic chain still works. In short, your allegorical framework looks like this: 2 witnesses, the 2 olive trees, the oil, energy, the lamp, the system, and light, the civilization. And that connects surprisingly well to Zechariah's vision, Revelation 11, modern global energy systems, the UN olive branch symbol. So I went a little deeper. Let me see something here. I went into Zechariah's name, right? So Zechariah's name means to remember. But hold on, I gotta cut this real quick, and then I'm gonna come right back to it. But yeah, remember that, y'all. Zechariah's name means to remember. Okay. And then I'm gonna wrap this up. So let me stop this.
That name is used for Adam and Old Testament.
And York,
York used to use that name all the time.
Yeah, so what y'all think about that so far while I look for this real quick?
That's added another that's just another part of religion. You know, like you said, the symbolism of what it mean in the Bible. It all ties into what it represents. Israel and America being the beast that they are.
Yes, it's very interesting to see how these things line up the way that they do. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, you have and again, you got the color blue, same color as Israel and their flag. The Rockefellers established the UN, so all that was Jewish from the beginning. Same thing with, Epstein said a lot of the stuff that he did was for the Rothschild. All of them people is part of the same family. And it's
Yeah.
been this way. This been
Yep.
it's been set up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He
this
had
is
the
what
blue
they
and
trying.
white
Like you said, that was a
on
good.
the island.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good way to look at the United Nations with the lamps, the leaves going around the globe.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they put out a new UN symbol with the leaves going all the way around, but we know that's in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna close it out now. Real quick. All right. All right, so just to end this whole class that we having right now, so what is the ancient Egyptian word for to remember? You remember, right? Zechariah means to remember, y'all. Okay. So then you got
Right.
in ancient Egyptian metaneta several words.
Wait. We don't see nothing.
Oh, you don't see nothing? I press share.
Now hit it again.
Let me see something. I'm gonna stop and share again.
All right.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There it came up.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So I asked, what is the ancient Egyptian word for to remember, right? In ancient Egyptian metanetra, several words relate to the idea of remembering, recalling, or keeping something in mind. The most relevant ones are seka, to remember, recall, or to keep in memory, often used in context of recalling knowledge, teachings, or sacred texts. The root sh or sehe is connected to mental recollection and learned knowledge. Example, conceptually, the sehe medu, remember the words. This is probably the closest direct verb for to remember. Then you have the rek. All right, I think Tar had did something on this rekek before. All right, to know, recognize, and be aware of. While not exactly remember, it often implies knowing something already learned, which overlaps with remembering. You see it in phrases like re neter, to know the God. The word is very important because knowledge that is retained is a form of remembrance. And then it's the seminin, right? To establish, to make firm, and to preserve. Sometimes used metaphorically for keeping something fixed in memory or tradition, especially in ritual or sacred instruction. A deeper Egyptian concept. The Egyptians often connected memory with the heart, the ib, rather than the brain. So remembering could conceptually be expressed as putting something in the heart. Example, D-M ib, place it in the heart. Meaning remember it deeply. Interesting connection to your work. Since you work with new science and zodiac concepts, this is interesting because Egyptian philosophy believed the heart stored memory and intelligence. The brain was not considered the seat of thought, which aligns with the idea of internal cosmic memory that shows up in many ancient traditions. Most direct translations, which is the seh or the seka, to remember. If you'd like, I can show you I can also show you the hieroglyphic symbols used to write remember, how the concept of remembrance appears in the Per-Em Heru book of coming forth by day. A possible connection between remember and the word amen or amun through ancient linguistic shifts, which gets very interesting. I said, is there a text named the Seka? It says yes. There's a well-known Egyptian text connected to the word Seka, to remember, to recall. The text is called the Seka in Sa, the book of remembering the spirit, or Sa, or the remembrance of the spiritual body. However, the more widely recognized form of the title appears as Seka en Sa, the book of knowing, the remembering of the transfigured spirit. What Sa means in Egyptian spiritual autonomy, the Sa is the spiritual body, the luminous or star body, the transfigured form of the deceased in the afterlife. This is basically just a spirit being. Okay, so the title essentially means the book of remembering the spiritual body. Relationship to the book of the dead. Many Egyptologists believe this text is part of the tradition that later became the famous Book of the Dead. The Egyptians themselves did not call it the Book of the Dead. They called it the Peret Em Heru, or the Peret Em Heru, the book of coming forth by day. The Seka tradition deals with remembering the divine identity so the soul can navigate the afterlife. Why the remembering was so important in Egypt. All right, so I'm gonna just skip down a little bit, right, so we can get to the part that I needed to get to. Boom, bow. Here we go. Is there a symbolic correlation between the book of Zechariah and the book of knowing? Please point out that Zechariah and Seka is basically the same in root. But here's the thing, they're not going to point that out, but I'm going to show y'all where. There may be symbolic and linguistic parallels, but we need to be careful. Zechariah and Seka do not share the same historical root. The reason why they don't share the same historical root is because this and these two words come from different languages. So Zechariah is Hebrew and Seka is ancient Egyptian. Okay, they come from, or Meta Neter rather, they come from different language families. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. However, they are interesting conceptual and phonetic parallels that can be explored symbolically, right? So the root of Zechariah, the name Zechariah, comes from Hebrew Zechariah or Zechariah, right? Breakdown means it comes from Zakar and what? And Yah. So it means to remember Yahweh, right? And if y'all remember, what does Seka, this thing is slow. What does Seka mean? Seka means, hold on, where is it? The book. There we go. No, sorry, the book. Seka en Sa means the what? The remembering of the spirit. Zechariah, sorry,
remembering Yah.
the remembering of Yah, the spirit. And if y'all look at the root of the word, the Egyptian root is Seka. If you change this S to a Z, what do you get?
Zeka.
Zeka. So here we go. So conceptually, the language, the word Egyptian Seka is really Zeka. And what does the Egyptian meaning mean? To what? To remember. And what does the Hebrew version mean?
To remember.
To remember. So Seka is Zeka. Zeka is Zechariah and Seka is Zechariah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But you see, chat is not gonna agree with me, even though it proved it right here.
Exactly. I mean, he pulled it up. Where it pulled it up.
It pulled it up right here and said why they feel related, even though they are not the same linguistic root. They share the similar semantic idea. Both traditions treat remembering as sacred knowledge. In both traditions, remembering means recalling divine truth, restoring cosmic order, and awakening spiritual identity. All right, so this is what I gotta inject real quick. Zechariah in the book of Zechariah meant to remember Yah. right? You remember when Tar with them names and showing you Netanyahu and Yahweh and all those things?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is all connecting back to Yahweh and the spirit of Yahweh. So Zechariah, that's why the chat was saying that the 2 olive trees are mentioned in Zechariah, because those 2 olive trees are of Yahweh, which is that spirit God. They want you to remember that God, that dead God. It all ties back to that. Okay.
Yep.
So symbolic parallels between the books. Zechariah, the book of Zechariah contains visions of such as the lampstand between the 2 olive trees, the angelic messengers, the restoration of the temple, the cosmic judgment. Those 2 olive trees appear later in the book of Revelation. Why? Because Zechariah is the remembering. Of
Yep.
Zechariah is the Seka. See that right here? The root Zeka is also Seka. Okay. Egyptian parallel, the Egyptian funerary text, like the Book of the Dead and the Book of the Gates. The deceased must remember sacred knowledge, but they want us to remember the negative knowledge. Okay. This is conceptually similar to the prophetic visions revealing cosmic order. Interesting structural similarity. Both traditions involve visionary revelations, right? Egyptian text, the visions of the Duat, the Zechariah, which is the prophetic visions, and our text in the book in the Parahim Emheru is also not prophetic visions. They're telling us what's happening. They knew of what was going to take place.
Yeah, they set it up.
That's right. Our ancestors wrote it because they knew that at some point in time we were going to fall asleep, and we needed to do what? We needed to remember.
Yep.
God's guiding the soul, angels guiding the prophet, knowledge needed for passage. Yeah, we needed the knowledge to pass through the cycle. But that means we needed to remember what took place so it wouldn't repeat.
Yeah.
Revelation of the future events. When you reveal future events, that means you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Phonetic coincidence. You notice something interesting. Zechariah, or ZKHR, is Seka.
Yeah.
Seka is Seka. The ka sound appears in both. However, this is likely coincidental because in Egyptian is Afro-Asiatic, but a different branch. Hebrew is Northwest Semitic. They diverged thousands of years ago. No, Hebrew copied from ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
A deeper symbolic connection, where the connection becomes meaningful, is the concept of remembering divine order. Both traditions imply spiritual restoration requires remembrance. In Zechariah, God remembers the covenant. In Egyptian religion, the soul must remember divine knowledge to become the Sa, the transfigured being. See, Zechariah says God remembers the covenant. You are the God that must remember. Zechariah just means you must remember who you are. You must remember your covenant. Okay? And then it breaks it down. Summary. The word is Seka, and the Hebrew is Zeka, right? Meaning, remember sacred knowledge. Hebrew, remember the covenant. Textual role, navigate cosmic order. In Hebrew, prophetic restoration. So it says Zechariah is not Seka linguistically, but it really is. But they share a powerful symbolic theme of sacred remembrance. It said something about breaking it down. I said in the book of Nun, do they speak of the 2 witnesses types? So this is another thing I'm gonna reveal to y'all too. All right. Real quick, I'm sorry, I know I'm going over the time. In the book of Nun, do they speak of the 2 witnesses of a parallel that exists? Yes, they are parallels, but they are symbolic rather than they are two witnesses story like the one in Revelation. Egyptian funerary and cosmological texts often use pairs of divine attendants, guardians, or guides that function in similar structural role in the biblical two witnesses. The text you are referring to as the Book of Knowing is usually associated with Egyptian underworld literature, such as the Book of Gates and related texts that teach knowledge required to pass through the Duat. The Egyptian Book of Knowing tradition, Book of Gates. The Book of Gates describes the night journey of Ra through the Duat, right? The 12 gates of the underworld. This is just the 12 cycles of the bottom of the Smat circle of order, right? So the Duat is really the Sumat, right? The DUAT is really the SMAT. Okay. The 12 gates of the underworld, each gate is guarded by deities who testify or verify the soul, right? So these deities are just the ethers, right? So each gate is guarded by an ether, 3 ether, 4 ether, 5 ether, 6 ether, 7 ether, 9 ether. All of these are deities that are each gate is guarded by those deities. So the one that guards this realm is 3 ether. Okay, to pass each gate, the soul must know the names of the guardians. We know them now, which is 3 ether, 6, 4 ether, 5 ether, all the way to 9 ether. In some sections, paired guardians or announcers stand by the gates, right? These pairs act as witnesses, testifiers, and verifiers of truth. Their job is similar to the witnesses in court. So the two ones that, and it just so happens that these 3 ether guardians are Caucasian. They have to be Caucasian. They can't be no other race but Caucasian. Netanyahu is Caucasian and Trump is Caucasian. Okay? And they're the ones that have to guard the gates. Okay? But I'm gonna end there. I don't think there's not much more to really mention. I do go a little bit deeper into the two witnesses thing, but I'll bring that up another day. What y'all think about Zechariah and Secah and remembering and all that y'all just heard?
Yeah, that's powerful because it just basically it's just extension of all the texts that Kemet had, and it's just going deeper into what we have to do, and that is stop, remember the spirit. that's powerful. Yeah, that's all I have to add.
Yeah, I had I studied the Duat a lot, so yeah, it has 2 gods that go all the way around. A lot of them, the further you got down the Duat, the worse they became. And I studied that when Ra was taking his Afu-Ra was taking his descent to go around the whole thing. So yeah, that was pretty good. And Afu said Zechariah was a real person, was a priest, and that they killed him when the Greeks and stuff was trying to stomp out Egyptian pantheism. So yeah, that's pretty much all of that fits, man. Was pretty good. The olive trees and the symbolic, which we know is real, is really real, but the Zoot likes to rearrange and change things around so we can make you guess. We watching it unfold. I think that's why all this came out in the last couple of days. That we're witnessing the change, like you said. That's why Trump them going after all of the oil, and all of the world in turn using it, and all these other countries. That's why they don't like. They're seeing these other countries trying to follow behind America because what happens is it tricks you into, you need the infrastructure. If you want to mimic the modern countries, now you got to let them build these things that's going to lead to the oil. But like you said, once they capture enough of the blood and do whatever they're doing, they're going to shut it off, and other people are going to suffer. That, like I said, that's the tribulation, is to shut off food, shelter, and water, and technology in general. You want to get everybody addicted to it, and then they're going to control it, and everybody else going to be assed out. So that's pretty much what it's going to do. So, yeah. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's essentially what we're seeing. If you can control the blood of a person, then that means you can control their body. Okay, so that's essentially what it is. And as above, so below is still reigning true all till right now. You're watching them try to take over the blood of the planet. And I'm not saying that it should be in the hands of the Phoenician race. It really should be in the hands of the Ethiopian race. We are the guardians of this planet because that's our mother. We were born from it. We've been here the longest. Yeah, all of that.
Exactly.
You know, we are supposed to be the guardians of it, but right now it's slipping from one hand to the next. It's going from we had it first in our possession, and then the Phoenician took it over, and now we're watching the Caucasian take it from the Phoenician, right? And if we're not careful, they're going to destroy the planet because of these activities. If a cataclysm doesn't come in enough time to really stop them in their activities. But as Afrunu said, they must carry out their playbook until and when their playbook is up, that's when things are gonna get real hellish. And that's when I think the other planets are gonna come to the aid of planet Earth once they see her blood being drained in the manner that is being drained. I think electromagnetically those planets will come to her aid, and the only way that they can come to her aid is to heal her by shifting their position of where they're at right now. And they're gonna send a meteor shower and rocks and comets and things like that, and that cataclysm will stop them and their activities of what they're trying to do. But that won't happen until they see they're waiting for the books as well to play out themselves. All right, so this is a cosmic thing that's taking place. Once that cosmic activity takes place, then we're gonna see the action from the outer gods, but they're not gonna step in until the planets do until the Caucasian does what it's supposed to do from its mentality and its God Yahweh. So we see that Yahweh is the one that's running game right now. All right. Yeah,
the God of good and evil, which is explains in the Bible.
You can get light. The only way you can get light is with negative and positive energy. So that's why Yahweh is doing what Yahweh is doing. All right, but that's my spill, and that's it from me. True peace.
Once they do that, that's when the moon gonna get beat. With all the rocks. Beat the moon with rocks and other rocks. Beat it too hard headed. Just keep doing stuff. This is too much. But that was good, Ken. I'm about to get out of here, man.
Yeah, that was.
A lot.
Yeah.
So,